time to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-822-1716. 800-822-1716. 800-822-1716.
Here's the Wall Street Business Report.
President Trump heads to Pennsylvania to address issues of affordability. GOP strategist Aaron McGuire.
Well, there are plenty of economic indicators that show that the Trump doctrine on the economy is working. The American people aren't feeling it.
The Federal Reserve faces an unusually contentious meeting this week that will test Chair Jerome Powell's ability to corral the necessary support from fellow policymakers. Microsoft says it's investing $17.5 billion in India. That highlights the global technology competition to expand in India, one of the world's fastest growing digital markets. Google announced a $15 billion investment in India back in October for its first AI hub. On Wall Street at the closing bell, the Dow was off by 178 points, and NASDAQ did better. It gained 30. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bob Agnew.
Town Hall.
On Point weather on 107 The Point.
Here's tonight's forecast. Clear and chilly this evening with a low temperature dropping down to 29. Tomorrow looks glorious. Sunshine all day, a nice breeze, warmer temperatures, the high climbing to 58. More sunshine for Thursday, Friday, and by Saturday, we have sunshine to go with a high of 63. Next chance for a shower could come on Sunday. Only a 20% chance, though, we get rain that day. I'm Cal Moss with your On Point local weather.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
From the Bart Fireside Studio, the solution for keeping you warm this winter.
This is 107 The Point.
This is The Point. Make thepointradio.com.
This is Sports Talk with Phil Kornblut and Chris Bergen. Sports Talk is heard across the state on radio affiliates of the Sports Talk Media Network and is streaming live on SportsTalkSC.com, as well as Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. The South Carolina Education Lottery lucky number to call in is 888-898-2525. That's 888-898-2525. Now, here are Phil and Chris with tonight's edition of Sports Talk.
All right, welcome in, everybody, and welcome into another Talking Tuesday here on Sports Talk, brought to you by Touchstone Energy Cooperatives. Good to have you with us. Phil Kornblut from the beach as we've made our way down here for the week of the Touchstone Energy Cooperatives Bowl, the North-South All-Star Game, which will be on Saturday at Doug Shaw Memorial Stadium, with play-by-play over these stations. Many of them, most of them, are airtime at noon on Saturday and the kickoff at 12:30. Looking forward to that. Got another great group of young players looking to participate in one of the best all-star games in the country. More on that to come as we move on through the week. Chris Bergen with us from the Berge Palace over in beautiful Sardis. And we have the plumber back at our studios in downtown Columbia. The phone number, 888-898-2525. 888-898-2525. Give us a call. And our text line number is 803-900-4847. 803-900-4847. Send us a text if you prefer to do it that way. You can follow us, of course, if you can't get us over the radio, which we hope you can. Our YouTube feed and our Facebook feed, our audio feed on X and on our website. It's all there for you if you can't find us over the radio. We'll also check out some of your comments on the YouTube message board as well. So it's Tuesday. We're at the beach looking forward to this All-Star game. Clemson and Penn State today had a press conference, a Zoom press conference with the folks up in New York. It was run by the Yes Network, the Yankees-owned network. Of course, this is a Yankees-owned event along with ESPN, but it's the Yankees who put it on. This is the baby of the late George Steinbrenner, who was a former college football coach himself at Purdue, and he always wanted to have a football game inside of Yankee Stadium. And so this will be the 15th edition of the Pinstripe Bowl, and this will pit Clemson and Penn State, two of the bigger names in college football. And, Bergie, bless their hearts, the coaches. I know in Terry Smith's case, he's the interim coach. He's not going to be the head coach moving forward, but he'll still be on the staff at Penn State. So for him, it's quite exciting considering what they went through at Penn State to get to a bowl game and play a team like Clemson. And Dabo Swinney, he put on his best front that this was a great opportunity for Clemson, and they're excited to be in New York and experience New York during the holidays. But you know as well as I do that another season not making the playoffs, considering the mindset in the college world today, another season for Clemson, 2 in a row, next year, 2 in a row, not in the playoffs. There'll be some unhappy people around Tigerland. Not to say that Graham Neff would be in a mood to want to make a move. I don't think he would certainly want to do that. But Dabo Swinney, I think, will eventually go out on his own way. But again, it's gotten to the point now where it's playoffs or nothing for these teams that are used to being in the playoffs and playing for the national championship versus playing, in this particular case, in a very low-tier bowl where you were one of the last ACC teams left through the Pick'em contest. And there were some bowls who wanted you. The Gasparilla wanted Clemson, I believe. Charlotte really wanted Clemson. Dabo Swinney wanted to go to New York. He felt like this would be a great trip for his players and great exposure for his program. And from that standpoint, they're on ABC. They're going to be in New York. They're going to be doing a lot of things. They're going to go to the New York Stock Exchange and ring the bell. They're going to go visit the 9/11 Memorial. They're going to go to the Rockettes at New York City Radio Hall. They're going to have a great time. It's set up to be a great bowl trip.
Oh, it'd be an awesome bowl trip. And in years past, it would have been one worthy of really soaking it in and enjoying the bowl opportunity. But the problem is, Phil, as you pointed out, we've gotten and it did not take us very long. And when we get to 16 teams, because what happened this year is going to hasten us getting to 16 teams. When we get to that point, the bowls will lose even more luster. And you and I were chatting about this earlier today. I think that's the sad part of where we're going and the pathway we're headed, where everything is much like the men's basketball tournament. The NCAA basketball season is all geared towards making the NCAA tournament. If you don't make the NCAA tournament, you had a terrible year. Same thing I think we're going to get to in college football. If you don't make the CFP playoffs, then you've had a bad year. And for a program like Clemson that is used to playing for, certainly playing in the playoffs and contending for a national championship, going to the Pinstripe Bowl is not anywhere close to their radar. Had you told Dabo Swinney, hey, this is where you're going to end up the season, and it's not going to be watching Cade Klubnik get the Heisman Trophy. You're going to be in New York, but that's where your team is going to be in a bowl game. He would have laughed you out of the building because no one believed that was the case, but that's where we are. But I think the sad part is that we're going to get to a point where the bowls fade out, and several things that the bowls do, obviously economic impact, maybe not in New York City. I'm not sure that the Pinstripe Bowl generates a whole lot of tourism dollars outside of what they normally have around the holidays. But a place like, say, Shreveport, where Coastal's going, the Independence Bowl this will be the 75th, somewhere in that neighborhood. It started in the 55th, somewhere in that neighborhood, because it started in the mid-'70s. And these bowls do such a great job of philanthropy in their communities. That's what we're really going to lose. Now, probably no one else cares, but I think it is worth pointing out that the bowls have had a rich tradition, and we're going to see that flush down the toilet like every other tradition in college athletics.
Well, I mean, the move by Notre Dame, which, again, their AD defended it today. He had a press conference today, and I haven't read everything. Yeah, well, he tried to defend it, and, I mean, you're right, it is indefensible, and he should be lustily booed, and the administration at Notre Dame should be lustily booed. And, I mean, you talk about all season long, and you talk about in recruiting, doing things for the kids, and you're saying, I mean, I didn't read what he had to say. Maybe you can add something to it. Did he say that the team voted not to play in the bowl game? Was this a player's decision? Did he say if it was a player's decision or an administration's decision?
That I have not seen. I will double check. I know one of the teams that actually opted out used that excuse. I really find that hard to believe, but I can't remember which team did it. I'm not sure it was Notre Dame, but I'll double check.
Well, I mean, look, Notre Dame was going to go to a great bowl game. They were going to go to an upper-level, non-playoff bowl game. And, I mean, why would you deny your players, those who did not opt out? Because there would have been opt-outs for sure. Their opt-outs are everywhere. Peter Woods opted out of Clemson today, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But, I mean, you're denying the rest of your squad the opportunity to go enjoy themselves, probably in warm weather. You know, they probably would have been headed to somewhere in Florida and a chance to, relax around the pool and get great gifts and everything that you get from a bowl trip that now you're not going to get because I'm assuming it was an administrative decision and pretty selfish on their part. If it's the old, I'm going to take my ball and go home kind of theory that Notre Dame has, and we're greater than everybody else. Again, I know you have to turn the page, and every year is different. I don't know who'll be back on that committee next year making the decisions, but man, you can't. I guess you can't punish next year's Notre Dame team for the decisions made by this year's team. But that should be remembered down the road when you're talking about doing things with Notre Dame. You got to remember how Notre Dame stuck it to college football to take up only for Notre Dame. And I mean, I've said this for years and years. It's never gone anywhere. Maybe one day it's going to get closer to it, but especially in this current state, college athletics has got to think of itself as a league, and they've all got to be in it together, kind of working together and helping each other out, not trying to cut each other's throat behind their backs. And that's all college sports is right now. It's still, because of the way they procure their talent, it's still cutthroat and trying to steal from the next guy next to you. So until they get that figured out, I think the number one thing they've never addressed, except for addressing dates and dead periods and all that, they've never addressed a better way for procuring talent now in college athletics, now that they're paid. And I don't know what that answer is. There might not be another way to do it besides just the recruiting process. Can you go to some kind of a draft? Can that work in some way, some form, some fashion in college athletics? I mean, you'd have to have the antitrust protections, because that's why the professional leagues can draft somebody and say, you got to go play in Green Bay, or you got to go play baseball down in Tampa. You can't go play for the Yankees and Mets, at least not for 6 years in Major League Baseball.
Right.
I think in NFL, it's a 4-year rookie contract you sign. You're there for 4 years, which is fine. You go make your money. You're getting well paid. But then if you blow up into a great player, you're really going to get paid well somewhere else, and you're still young, and you got a chance to – you want to leave where you are and go somewhere else, and people are bidding for you. The college thing is still trying to be the academic thing, so that thing will probably never happen that way. But I keep thinking the colleges are going to spend themselves to death here, but they keep paying more and more for coaches. You saw what Campbell got at Penn State. What was it, $71 million? So they're not restraining themselves when it comes to. So I don't want to hear them crying poor mouth when they start crying poor mouth. I don't want to hear these schools say, and I don't want to read these websites complaining about the fact that they can't get a player because they can't pay enough. And I mean, that's the game today. You got to learn to live with it. I'm trying to live with it myself. It's hard. It's hard to change towards all that. But I mean, you lose a player today, by and large, it's because you didn't pay enough money for him. They got a better deal somewhere else. If it's a highly recruited player who's got all the majors coming after him, you don't get him. It's because more than likely they got a deal better somewhere else, and you got to live with that. Yeah. So
Well, two things about the Notre Dame deal. Now, their Twitter handle, when the selection came out and they were not in, the Notre Dame football Twitter page said, as a team, we've decided to withdraw our name for consideration, for a bowl game. Mm-hmm. And that it's signed the 2025 Notre Dame football team. So is that legitimately a vote of all the players? I don't know. But the most ridiculous thing I saw the AD from Notre Dame say today is, quote, we had one of the most dominant 10-game runs in the history of college football.
Yeah.
I think the 2019 LSU team would like to have a conversation. I think the undefeated Clemson national championship team from a few years back would like to have a conversation. Those Southern Cal teams with Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart and those guys would like to have a conversation about dominant runs. You won 10 games, you were probably supposed to win all 10 of them. And that's the most dominant run in the history of college football. Give me a break.
That's
Give me a break.
You can shovel that BS with the snow up there in South Bend. That's what you can do with that BS. I mean, this guy, I've lost all respect for the AD and the administration. Even in, one of their reverends, one of their leaders up there even came out and supported this move, And I'm like, come on. You got to play the game. You got to play the game. You want to be a leader. You're going into your closet instead of being a leader. Okay, you feel like you got screwed. I feel like you got screwed. You should have been in the playoffs. But that's what happens when you leave it to a committee to make a decision. All right? What I'm talking about is when college football finally wakes up and puts together a playoff process where you don't have a selection committee, where your only teams that make it to the playoffs are your conference champions, okay, that earn it through conference play. And, yes, I know conferences are not equal, but not every division in the NFL – let's use the NFL.
That's true.
Not every division in the NFL is equal, okay? There are good teams that don't make the playoffs because a team from a weaker division with a weaker schedule made it. But you don't hear them belly aching about it and crying about it. That's how it's done. Well, it's time for colleges to grow up. It's time for them to grow up and follow the lead of their daddies, which is the NFL, and come up with a way that you don't have a selection committee and that your conference champions advance and maybe your second, then maybe second place teams. I don't know how many teams you want and how many conferences you'll end up with. I saw somebody put together a very good model for an 80-team super conference made up of 10 teams in 8 conferences. You play 9 conference games. That means you play everybody in your league. The champion of each league advances to the playoffs. All right, so that's 8 right there. And then I think it was you have your at-large teams, like your runner-ups in each conference. There was another piece of that formula to where you wouldn't have a selection committee to decide who makes it. And then you wouldn't have all this. Then again, we do have to admit, for all the years of college football, one of the things that's made college football so successful is the debate. Going back to the days when we picked the national champion, going back to 1936 when we had the first AP poll, when we picked the national champion based off of a vote after New Year's Day, you had the great debate. And that made college football thrive. It kept it going in the offseason. And now you still have the great debate when it comes to the selection process. So maybe from that standpoint, it's not a bad thing for college football.
It's an interesting point and an interesting way to look at it, because if we start making everything about college football just like it is in the NFL, then it's going to get lost in the wash. Because most folks, outside of our region of the country, most folks are still plugged in more so to the NFL. But the one thing that will get them to tune in is controversy. Well, Notre Dame, I don't follow college football all that much, but how in the world did Notre Dame not get into the playoffs? So they've probably been listening and watching all week long to try and figure this out. But you're right. If it's identical to the way the NFL selects, I think you may lose some of those fringe fans who don't really care one way or the other, aren't tied into a college team like we are here in the Southeast. And, you start – look at what NASCAR's done. So desperately wants to be like a stick and ball sport, and very few people could tell you who won the NASCAR championship, and it just finished about a month ago.
Who did win? Who did win that race? No, I know. I know who won it. Okay, Couple of quick things, then we'll hit the break. If you want to join us, 888-898-2525 and text line number 803-900-4847. Jim Clements announced his pending retirement as president at Clemson the end of this year. That came out of nowhere. I saw none of that being reported in advance. So that's big. Now, what's bigger? Jim Clements, he picked a bad day because also today Peter Woods announced he's leaving Clemson to go on to the NFL draft. So his career at Clemson is done, which means more carries for the running backs, right, around the goal line?
Exactly. If I'm Keith Adams, I may pull my name back out of the transfer portal now, because it's one thing to cede carries to a former wide receiver turned running back. It's an entirely different thing altogether to cede those carries inside the 10-yard line to a defensive tackle. So maybe now he decides, well, if Peter's gone, that opens up the 8 carries I think he had this year and 2 touchdowns. Maybe I get a better opportunity to score.
How about this? I guess I have to eat my words about Asia Wilson. She was named the Time Magazine Athlete of the Year today. The former Gamecock star, the WNBA star, and she's on the cover of Time Magazine, named the Athlete of the Year. I guess she will go down as University of South Carolina's greatest athlete. I mean, she has.
It's hard to argue that point.
She's trumped everybody. I mean, this trumps the Heisman Trophy, right? This trumps the Heisman Trophy. She's won National Player of the Year. She won National Championship. She won WNBA championships, WNBA Player of the Year awards, multiple, and now the Time Athlete of the Year. That probably trumps everything. So shout out there, because that's a great accomplishment for a young lady from Columbia, South Carolina to accomplish that. So big shout out there. Okay, let's hit the break, and we will come back with more. Talk about the Coastal situation. Garrett Riley, one of the names on that board, has dropped by the wayside because his current school is going to keep him. We got recruiting. We're going to hear from Dabo Sweeney and Terry Smith, Clemson, Penn State, Pinstripe Bowl. We'll have Coaches Johnson and Coach Johnson and Reedy with us for Chalk Talk and more. Be right back.
If you're a new parent or grandparent, it might be tough to picture your little ones heading off to college, but it'll be here before you know it. I'm State Treasurer Curtis Loftus. Future Scholar, South Carolina's 529 College Savings Plan, makes it easy to start saving for a child's future education right now. You can start with any amount. Contributions are tax deductible and earnings grow tax free. Discover the smart, easy way to save for college today at futurescholar.com. That's futurescholar.com.
Your home is where your memories live. It's where you laugh and where you love. We understand the importance of the valuables under your roof, tangible and intangible alike. So no matter what's around the corner, we'll be there, offering you and your family the support that's made Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for nearly 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise. Learn more at scfbins.com.
Call me, Alex Satterfield, at 803-749-9171 for all of your Midlands insurance needs.
Avoiding excess financial stress from the holidays doesn't take a Christmas miracle. All it takes is a Christmas loan from Founders Federal Credit Union. Our Christmas loan is designed to ease your Yuletide expenses and help you relax so you can focus on what matters most, spreading joy and love. With our great rates and flexible repayment options, unexpected expenses like decorating, last-minute gifts, or holiday travel accommodations won't break your budget. Plus, you'll get exceptional service that'll make you want to sing, so you can be confident and ready for whatever the holidays might throw your way. Make this holiday season the best one yet when you unwrap some Christmas magic of your own with a Christmas loan. Relax. Put more joy in your budget with Founders Federal Credit Union. Visit an office near you or foundersfcu.com/magic today. Terms and conditions apply. Membership qualification required.
Every lottery ticket purchase keeps education in our state moving forward. In fact, the lottery has raised more than $200 million for state school buses to get our students to school safely every day. Then, the lottery helps those students go even further in their education by funding the Life, Hope, and Palmetto Fellow Scholarships. So remember, when you play the lottery, you're keeping South Carolina students on the road to success. Learn more at sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.
Touchstone Energy Cooperative members save more on electricity, and members save more on insurance, groceries, healthcare, restaurants, travel, concerts, and sporting events through Co-op Connections. Touchstone Energy is an alliance of the member-owned electric cooperatives, and as a member, the power is yours. Experience the power of co-op membership with Touchstone Energy and find out how much you can save on electricity and a whole lot more at touchstoneenergy.com.
All right, we're back at Coastal Carolina. Are they going to get it done this week? The coach at Lehigh got a contract extension. He was a guy that was being talked about, so he's not coming. Then there's Garrett Riley.
I actually had a source, Phil, tell me that he was going to be done this week. That's how close I think Coastal was. So maybe all Chance Miller ultimately ended up doing, unfortunately, was getting him a raise at Lehigh.
So that was the guy they wanted, number one, you think?
I think that. I don't know if it was number one, but yeah, he was definitely, from what I was told, he was one of the guys, and they felt like it was going to be announced this week, but evidently not.
I don't think South Carolina has announced anything formally yet about Kendall Briles from what we talked about last night, but everything seems to be moving towards that. I don't know what they're doing as far as getting their contract together and making sure everything is in place. Here's an interesting here's something else, too, that we haven't mentioned. Khalil Barnes is transferring. So Clemson's losing one of their safeties now. Khalil Barnes, 3 years at Clemson. He's hitting the transfer portal, John. Oh, can we need to grease up the old flusheroo there. Thank you very much. Have that handy because we're going to be putting that to use.
It's been here all season long, Phil.
Okay, we're bringing it back. It's time. It's flush season. I'm flushed with the season. Clemson basketball going to be tipping off here momentarily up at Madison Square Garden. They're an underdog tonight to BYU. Another good test for the Tigers. We got a bunch more coming up. We'll be back after the break.
On Point weather on 107 The Point.
Here's tonight's forecast. Clear and chilly this evening with a low temperature dropping down to 29. Tomorrow looks glorious. Sunshine all day, a nice breeze, warmer temperatures, the high climbing to 58. More sunshine for Thursday, Friday, and by Saturday, we have sunshine to go with a high of 63. Next chance for a shower could come on Sunday. Only a 20% chance, though, we get rain that day. I'm Cal Moss with your On Point local weather.
This Christmas, give the gift of the outdoors to the sportsman in your family. At Palmetto State Armory, find gifts that spark adventure, from rugged boots, cozy jackets, and outdoor clothing essentials, to must-have items like Yeti coolers, turtle box speakers, and Costa sunglasses. Whether you're shopping for the seasoned hunter or the next generation of outdoor lovers, Palmetto State Armory has everything you need to make memories this Christmas and beyond. Palmetto State Armory. Give the gift of the outdoors this year.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. The first of a series of powerful storms is dumping heavy rain and swelling rivers in the Pacific Northwest, closing roads and prompting high water rescues. Residents in parts of Oregon and Washington are grappling with power outages, flooding, and school closures on Tuesday, while drivers are navigating debris and water that has closed roads and submerged vehicles. Conservative Supreme Court justices appear to back a Republican-led drive supported by President Trump's administration to overturn a quarter-century-old decision and erase limits on how much political parties can spend in coordination with candidates for Congress and President. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 179 points, the Nasdaq rose 30. More details at srnnews.com.
I don't know too many folks out there who love paying taxes, but what about getting tax credits? That's appealing, right? My buddy Ken at Broker Solar is in the tax credit business. How would you like a solar battery that helps do two things? First, it serves as an instant generator the moment the power cuts out, and it doesn't even require gasoline. Secondly, it lets you take some control back from the power companies. Yeah, you can use solar power during the peak hours when your power company wants to charge you the most. Oh, and that tax credit on solar batteries, you can get a 30% tax credit right now. This is a phenomenal time to reach out to Ken. He'll come out to your home or your business. He'll give you a comprehensive free estimate, answer any questions. Solar isn't free, but you need to take advantage of those credits when they do come around. Call Ken right now. Save on a solar-powered battery. Online, find him at brokersolar.com or just call Ken, 807-7417. That's 807-7417, Broker Solar.
If you're a new parent or grandparent, it might be tough to picture your little ones heading off to college, but it'll be here before you know it. I'm State Treasurer Curtis Loftus, Future Scholar. South Carolina's 529 College Savings Plan makes it easy to start saving for a child's future education right now. You can start with any amount. Contributions are tax deductible and earnings grow tax-free. Discover the smart, easy way to save for college today at futurescholar.com. That's futurescholar.com.
Sleep better, dream better, right here at home. Best Mattress has built a legacy of comfort in the Midlands for 97 years. Family owned, locally crafted. Visit West Columbia, Divine Street, or our newest Lexington showroom by the amphitheater to experience real American-made quality. Discover your perfect mattress with our custom comfort test. Plus, get white glove delivery and a reassuring 90-day comfort warranty. No offshore shortcuts, just honest local value. Visit bestmattress.net. Best Mattress. Sleep local. Sleep better.
The holidays are here, and Founders Federal Credit Union wants to make them brighter. Right now, when you open a home equity line of credit, you'll get up to $750 toward closing costs. That's more in your pocket for home improvements, debt consolidation, major purchases, unexpected expenses, a vacation, or getting caught up on your Christmas presents. The possibilities are endless. Imagine starting the new year with financial flexibility and peace of mind. But hurry, this special offer ends December 31st. Save more and make this holiday season one to remember. Plus, you'll enjoy competitive rates and flexible terms designed to fit your budget. Don't miss this chance to turn your home's equity into the gift that keeps on giving. Visit foundersfcu.com/HELOC for more information. Membership qualification required. Institution NMLS identifier number 410646. Equal housing lender. See website for details.
Feel corn blowed in the heat of the game. Tiger feel the call and chasing that flame. Corn coot to some, but he don't care. Front runner Phil, he's always there. Front runner Phil burning up the track.
All right, we're back. It is Sports Talk Media Network here on a Talking Tuesday. As we're going to hear from Dabo Swinney and Terry Smith. It's kind of not funny, but interesting that, you got Yankees dealing with Southerners, Clemson, and you got the Yankees up there in New York. I mean Yankees, the organization, and Yankees, the citizens, okay? You got your Yankee citizens and you got your Yankee organization. And so the chairman of the committee of the bowl, I guess the executive director of the bowl, he's all New York. I can tell this guy's probably, lived in New York his entire life. And so he's trying to sound very smart and intelligent about the games coming up. And he says, he says in his opening remarks, he goes, you got Dabo Swinney. They call him Dabo. We got Dabo Swinney. First, they can't say Dabo. It's Dabo, the Yankees. They can't say Dabo. It's Dabo Swinney. And then they mention Terry Smith. He mentions Terry Smith, who just happens to share the name of the former, now deceased, Clemson wide receiver, Terry Smith. But he thinks the Terry Smith at Penn State was the Terry Smith who played at Clemson.
Oh, boy.
Because he mentioned that Clemson and Penn State played in 1988 in the Citrus Bowl, only time they've ever played. and that I can't remember how he put it, but goes and so how about this? The Penn State coach Gary Smith, of course, was on that Clemson team, something like that.
This is why NFL people should not deal with college sports.
Or Major League Baseball people. I don't know what this guy's
professional sports teams. Yes.
Yeah. Yankee. The Yankees don't know anything about anything. Now the Yankees. There's the Yankees, and then there's the Yankees. Right. 27 World Series championships. They know a lot. So, all right. Phone number 888-898-2525. South Carolina Education Lottery lucky number here on Sports Talk. Learn more about the lottery's impact at sceducationlottery.com/education. Wins. Playing for fun is a win for education. One more note on Kendall Briles, something that I hit upon today. Didn't realize this. I don't know if this will mean anything. It may mean nothing at all. Probably will mean nothing at all. But you never know. It's a funny world out there, is it not? It turns out that the quarterback at TCU, who is a great passer, leads the nation, one of the nation's leading passers, Josh Hoover, his brother is a baseball player at South Carolina. Caleb Hoover transferred to South Carolina from a junior college. He's there this year. You just never know. I mean, he didn't know when he came to South Carolina that Kendall Briles was going to end up at South Carolina, and his brother's coached by Kendall Briles, and his brother had another great year. The brother's thrown for about 10,000 yards in his career. I mean, he's really good. And it's pretty obvious that Briles is going to put together a staff that is going to know how to run his offense. He's going to want a quarterback that's going to know how to run his offense too. So I'm just saying, if Lenora Sellers opts to leave, you could see something happen there. If Lenora Sellers decides to stay, would this guy come anyway to play for Briles and compete with Sellers? Would he be better than Sellers? I mean, let's face it, Lenora Sellers is not the end all. There's a lot of quarterbacks out there a lot better and a lot more productive than he was this year. This is one of them in this offense. Now, this is not a quarterback running offense. You look at the numbers, the rushing numbers for Hoover, and he's been the quarterback in all 3 years for Briles at TCU. He's been the quarterback. He doesn't run the ball. This is a quick release, quick up-tempo, quick pass, deep shot offense. That's what they do. He's not going to, at least that quarterback, he doesn't run around and try and use his legs for yards. He uses his arm. So, I don't know. I just mentioning that in case something comes to pass there. You just never know, do you? What's going to happen? Do you? Never know, Bergie? That's a question.
No, you don't. I'm sorry.
Did you not hear the question mark?
I did not.
No.
My apologies.
That's okay. All right. Any response? Any response from
No,
you?
I think it's interesting connection there. But in regards to Lenoris, I don't think we can read anything into his decision to leave or to stay based solely off whether or not the quarterback at TCU might come. And Shane Beamer has talked for years about there's always competition in that program, and that's at every position. Now, last year we knew there was no competition at quarterback. We knew who the guy was. I wonder if that changes though, because as you correctly pointed out, Lenoris did not have a very good year, and they've got to improve everywhere across the board on that program, and that includes at quarterback.
Okay, let's hit the phones. Let's go to Kevin in Charleston. First up with us tonight, we've got Chalk Talk at 7:05. Coach Todd Knight from Newberry at 7:35 tonight, so stay tuned for that. And Kevin, welcome into Sports Talk. How are you?
Hey, good morning, or good evening, gentlemen. How is everybody?
We're doing great.
Awesome. So I got a fix for the college problem. You have a 10-team or a 10-conference, 12 teams. So, for example, the Deep South, you got UCF, FAU, FIU, Georgia, Florida State, Florida, Georgia Southern, Georgia State, Georgia Tech, Miami, USF, UAB. You have all these teams that are regional.
Nope.
No.
No.
Nothing? No.
No. You said
why's
Georgia.
that?
You're not going to break up the SEC. I mean, you got to go
Well,
back.
I know money.
You got to go back to traditional geographic lines. Let the SEC teams go back and be in the SEC. Let the ACC teams go back and be in the ACC. Big 12, Big 10. Let's create the Pac 10, 12, 8, whatever. Southwest. I'd rather be called the Southwest Conference than the Big 8. Let's go back to the Southwest Conference. Let's create. Let's go
you
back.
You want to hear the Southwest?
Real quick,
I
don't want to hear every school that you got in a conference here, but what you got?
I'm saying you keep it all regional. The schools save the money on the travel as opposed to Georgia Southern traveling to Texas State. You have them all play. It's 12 teams. They all play in conference. The winner of that conference then goes to the playoff, and then you got the best of the best.
Yeah. I like your concept. I like your concept.
So this route is keeping rivalries, although you're missing a few. Like Georgia Southern ain't going to play App State, but you're still keeping it regional. The best of the best, they play. Whoever wins goes and then plays the playoff. So if you're looking at the Southwest, you got Baylor, Houston, North Texas, OU, LSU, Rice, SMU, TCU, Texas, A&M, Texas Tech, and Tulsa. So you're still keeping rivalries. You're still letting them play. You're giving the Group 5 or whatever you want to call them the opportunity to play with them quote-unquote big boys, and then you just let them play that 12-season or 12-week tournament. Whoever wins that conference then goes to the playoffs, and then there's no debate. Whoever's better. See them on the field, let them play it out.
I agree with you 1,000%. Thank you very much for the phone call. The only thing I would say, Bergie, and why that won't fly is because of the argument of the inequity of the conferences, and they're going to be – I mean, you think Greg Sankey's going to sit back and just let one SEC team go to a playoff when he sees conferences that he views as weaker, sending a team to the playoff? I mean, until the mindset changes where it is a league concept, like Kevin was pointing out.
Right. Yeah.
Until the mindset changes. But will that mindset ever change? I mean,
not
will
if
it ever
not if
change?
you have the power brokers like, say, a Greg Sankey. As long as you have commissioners of conferences, you've got to wrest that power away from them, and I don't know how you do that. But his point is much like the NFL. You've got the NFC South, and you've got the Panthers and the Falcons and the Saints and the Bucks all in a geographic area. They play round robin with one another, and whoever comes out with the best divisional record and best overall record, but the divisional being the tiebreaker, gets to go into the playoffs. I think that setup is great, but you have to blur the lines and get rid of the conferences in college football, and that's going to be your biggest challenge. You could keep the SEC for every other sport. But in that scenario, if you want to get it equitable and not have to worry about a committee, you're going to have to find a way to get them out of their league and just put them in a geographic footprint. And that is going to be nearly impossible. You'd have to have some sort of something similar to a coup in the government to be able to take Greg Sankey out of that seat in Birmingham.
All right. 888-898-2525. Continue with your phone calls on this Talking Tuesday. And let's go to he's back. He's like a bad rash. He just shows up and doesn't go away. Triple T in Columbia. Welcome in.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
I think you tried to steal my thunder. I shared that 48 team thing on Facebook today about,
Wait a minute. Do you think, first of all, do you think I go to your Facebook?
No, I just shared on Facebook. They were talking about a 48 team, the region and the Southwest and all that stuff. And, but people must realize it's called the Benjamin. It's all about the Benjamin. And nobody want to give it up. I'm saying this. I'm saying that until you put everybody in the playoff, there's not going to be no peace. You can have 16, 24 teams. Somebody's going to say they're being left out. And by the way, you talk about Terry Smith. Terry got a picture with Terry Smith his senior year when we went to Fan Appreciation Day. So he used to take pictures with the players. So I'm saying this. So, but and the thing about Notre Dame, if they're so upset with the ACC, I tell you what, them 6 teams who playing them, so they said we're not gonna play you. You know, they play 6 teams from the ACC next year. I'm saying this, so you want your cake and eat it too, Mr. AD from Notre Dame. You know, I'm sick and tired of Notre Dame. So I'm saying they've always been given preferential treatment. So I'm saying I'm glad they're not in. And excuse me for my friends, I hope the hell they don't get in next year. They need to get in the conference.
All right.
So Phil,
yes,
take care, Phil.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, I mean, they've already promised them that if they are in the top 12, they're going to be in the playoffs. So here we go again, bending over and kissing the feet of Notre Dame. I don't understand why, because Notre Dame does nothing for any of the other schools. You know, their claim is we draw all these big ratings. Oh, really? No, you go back and you look. Their ratings, they did not outdraw a single SEC game this season, I don't believe. You go back and look at their numbers across the board and compare it to your SEC matchups, your top SEC matchups. Notre Dame didn't top any of those. So, and they don't share their money with the other teams, with the other leagues. So why do they continue to kiss the feet of Notre Dame when it comes to college football?
And I thought Smitty sent out a wonderful text to us earlier today. We've got a little text message chain in the show, and I'll use the tail end of his to sum it up. What he said, Notre Dame won more titles before Babe Ruth's death in 1948 than they have since. They have a lot of fans, but so does American Idol. They're both stale.
The All-SEC team out today. South Carolina placed Dylan Stewart on the second team. Jalen Kilgore on the second team. Brian Thomas on the third team, and Vakari Swain on the third team. I thought Vakari Swain became their best corner as the season went on.
You're right. Yeah, I agree. And certainly their most dangerous weapon in special teams.
His cover skills, they better make sure they hold on to him. His cover skills got really, really good. Of course, you know about his ability to return punts and kicks. Let's go to no, we got to take the break because I know this will be a long call. So let's hit the break, and we'll come back with more. As we go to the break, I'll hit up a few text messages here from Gamecock Tony in Lancaster. I love Asia Wilson. She's the best. But the best athletes in the state have been Rogers, Sharp, Lattimore, and Clowney. They never on the cover of Time magazine.
Exactly. None of them has a resume that can rival hers. You may not like it because they're all football players, but their resume doesn't touch hers.
In bringing notoriety, international notoriety to the university, nobody touches her. Be back.
Call Lawyer Lisa. Experience the difference with Lawyer Lisa.
Hi, I'm Lisa Hosseller-Brown. Did you know Lawyer Lisa offers a prevention plan add-on to our services? If you already have a trust or just need some updates, ask about getting your ducks in a row and getting all of your wishes set out before it's needed. Visit lawyerlisa.com for more information.
Call Lawyer Lisa. Experience the difference with Lawyer Lisa.
7511 St. Andrews Road, Irmo, South Carolina.
Traveling can be the worst, especially when you can't find your favorite show. Well, don't worry. We've got the perfect way to keep up with everything happening in the Palmetto State when you're away from home. Just pull up the Chief Sports app on your mobile device, and you can listen live to Sports Talk.
All right, welcome in, everybody. Sports Talk Media Network.
So the next time you can't find us on one of our great radio affiliates, just log on to the Chief Sports app, the best way to stay connected with the Sports Talk Media Network.
This is Perry Orth, former South Carolina quarterback. On the field, my job was simple. Read the defense, protect the ball, and give my team the best chance to win. Off the field, at Moultrie Insurance, our job is no different. Help protect your business from the risks that you don't see coming, so you can focus on moving the ball forward. Just like a good quarterback, we anticipate challenges, call the right plays, and keep you protected. Trust Moultrie Insurance to cover your blind side and keep your business in the game. Visit MoultrieINS.com today.
G3 here with Tsunami Bar Sports, and it's time for a fall preview. That's right, 720 Chris Drive, 378 and I-26, Frontage Road, where you can now preview the best technology for golf known to man. It's the Tsunami Bar. It's live weight. It's the only technology out where you get your tempo and flow going before you play. Now, it also serves as a pattern support tool. 720 Chris Drive, Frontage Road, 378 and I-26. You also can visit the Garage Gym Pro Shop. Pick up your tools, take them home, and while you're here, tour the Scramble course, 6-hole pitch and putt right now.
Two more changes on the South roster for the Touchstone Energy Bowl's North-South All-Star Game. Two players from Oceanside failed to show up today. Today was the check-in day. Two players from Oceanside Collegiate failed to show up. Mike Jones, no-show, and Sawyer Arnold, another no-show. So, they have been replaced. Zyquez Kelly from Sumter High School, 6'2", 310, and Jordan Wright from Newberry, 6'2", 280. They are going to replace the two from Oceanside. Oceanside had two others who were kicked out of the Shrine Bowl for their actions in the game. What's up with Oceanside? Why do you fail to show up for the All-Star game?
Yeah. We saw this somewhat last year, Phil, where we started having high school kids opting out of these all-star games because, remember, they wanted to go and join. Carolina had a couple of guys that wanted to. Was it Cutter Woods? Who didn't play in the Shrine Bowl last year because he wanted to sign up for bowl practice with the game.
Yeah, remember last year we had both games were on the same day last year. So we had big problems with that. And then you had – and because, I mean, everything got pushed back a week. And so players who wanted to go ahead and get their college careers in practice for teams that had bowl practices already ongoing, they skipped out on the Shrine Bowl and went to those bowl practices. So, but I don't get this. This isn't this apparently was not something where they informed them in advance. They didn't show up.
They just didn't show. Wow.
They're listed as no shows. So I don't think they're happy over there about that from the tone of the information I have here.
Oceanside Collegiate not making a whole lot of friends right now. First off, it's the charter versus the public school, the public school league debate to begin with. So they've already got sort of a fairly or unfairly got a black mark against them. And now this after the state championship game. Yeah, not doing yourself a lot of favors over there right now.
Yeah, I don't know. Coach Brent LaPrade, young guy, seems like a super guy. Comes from a great football family, great athletic family.
Sure.
I don't know if this certainly, I don't know. Is this are they pro? I don't know. I don't know why these two guys didn't show up. Again, they had two that were suspended from the Shrine Bowl. Maybe I don't know if this is a reaction to that or what.
And it could be a multitude of things. It could be a family emergency. We just never know. But you would have hoped they would have called and said, hey, this is why we can't get over there today.
Yeah. All right, let's go to Hank in Columbia. You're up next. Sports Talk. Welcome in. How are you?
I'm fine, Corn. I think you were just taking one sample size with the Hoover guy from TCU because Sonny Dykes calls offenses also, so they've probably been doing a mixture. But you remember Browse used RG3 was a big part of that offense at Baylor, and also when Browse was at Arkansas calling plays, when he had KJ Henry, he ran him a good bit with that spread zone and throwing. So I don't think that you take much from just saying that the Hoover guy, that offense uses the quarterback that's legs, I think as much as it throws.
Well, I mean, his numbers don't say that. I mean, you go by the
but I think
statistics.
it probably has to do more so with the quarterback skills. If he has, because he ate us up at Arkansas with KJ Henry with the throwing and when he would pull it and run.
Well, in his last 5 games, Josh Hoover has rushed for, going in reverse order, -3, -2, -6, 11, and -3. So he's not a runner.
He might not be a good runner, Corn.
He did carry it 11 times against BYU for -6. I imagine some of that was, and they lost 44-13, so I imagine some of that was running for his life for whatever reason. I don't know. I mean, maybe you're right. We'll see. We'll see what he does, and we'll see what happens with whoever is the quarterback. I'm just saying, if Hoover, let's just say it were to happen. Not saying it is. I'm just thinking out loud here. He's not a runner. He's not a runner. His stats say he doesn't run the football.
Hoover's not a runner.
Right.
I think the offense uses the quarterback run. If you heard, there's a audio out of Browse and a coaching clinic last year talking about his offense, and it utilizes it. But if you don't have a quarterback as a runner, then you ain't going to use it.
But you know what? Garrett Riley uses a form of the air raid, and he doesn't call a lot of quarterback runs.
It's called a veer spread, and he talked about it. You can probably search up that audio. It's running around the internet of him speaking some months ago about the offense. He talked about the running game and how it works.
If you would just listen to me for a second, Garrett Riley runs a version of the air raid, his version of it. They don't have they haven't had Klubnik running a whole lot. Not a lot of called runs for Klubnik, I don't believe. I think they want him throwing the football. Now his version is a little bit more side to side. I think the version of Briles is more down the field. I think he takes his shots down the field, tries to make a lot more big plays out of it. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens when everything is in place and you got your running back coach and offensive line coach. Thank you for the phone call. Speaking of that, J.C. Sherbert reported on the Big Spur this morning that he felt pretty strongly that it's going to be Stan Drayton as the running backs coach, one of the coaches up at Penn State. And he mentioned the offensive line coach at North Carolina who has history with Briles. He's a veteran coach, and he was at Baylor, and he was at TCU. Randy Clements, he mentioned his name as someone to watch for the OL job if they decide to move Sean Elliott somewhere else.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
From the Bart Fireside Studio, the solution for keeping you warm this winter.
This is 107 The Point.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. President Trump will road test his claims he's fixing Americans' affordability woes at a nighttime rally in Pennsylvania. In an interview with Politico, a reporter asked President Trump about his handling of the economy.
I wonder what grade you would give.
A plus.
A plus.
Yeah, A plus, 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 plus.
And President Trump says his administration is bringing down prices.
You can call it affordability or anything you want, but the Democrats caused the affordability problem, and we're the ones that are fixing it. So it's a very simple statement. They caused it, we're fixing it.
The Republican president is heading Tuesday to Mount Pocono, in a county that flipped his way in 2024, helping him win the state and return to office. Germany's leader says he isn't taken aback by the Trump administration's newly released U.S. national security strategy, even if some portions don't sit well. Correspondent Charles de Ledesma reports.
German Chancellor Friedrich Merz says he wasn't surprised by the substance of the strategy, as it was largely in line with the lecture Vice President J.D. Vance gave to European allies in Munich in February. Merz tells reporters the new document underscores the need for Europe to become much more independent from the US in security policy. He adds, parts of the document are understandable, but some of it's unacceptable to us from the European point of view. That the Americans wanted to save democracy in Europe now, I don't see any need for that. If it needs to be saved, we would manage that alone. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
On Wall Street, the Dow down by 179 points, the Nasdaq rose 30, the S&P 500 declined 6. More on these stories at townhall.com.
This is Dennis Prager for AmFed Coin and Bullion. There's something about the feel of a gold coin in your hand and the way the light reflects off its intricate details that has always captivated me. Nick Grovich, AmFed's owner, turned that same passion into his livelihood. Nick began collecting coins as a teen, and that interest grew into a nationally respected business offering only the finest quality coins at the most competitive prices. But the truth is that although Nick is a rare coin dealer, he doesn't believe in rare coins. Rare coins do not make sound investments, but they do make dealers a lot of money. See, that's part of what I respect about him. AmFed specializes in buying non-performing numismatic coins and turning them into gold or silver investments that provide liquidity and perform competitively against the market. Whether you're buying or selling, call 800-221-7694. That's 800-221-7694. AmericanFederal.com.
A Tufts University student who was one of the first swept up in a wave of immigration enforcement will be allowed to continue her studies.
A federal judge in Boston will allow a Tufts University foreign student who was detained in March to resume her research and teaching while she challenges her arrest. Rumeysa Öztürk is the Turkish PhD student who was arrested in March outside her residence in Somerset and carried away in an unmarked vehicle. She had her student visa revoked and her student record terminated after co-authoring an op-ed criticizing her university's response to Israel and the war in Gaza. U.S. District Judge Janice Casper ruled that the termination of her student record was likely arbitrary and capricious. Öztürk's been out of a Louisiana immigrant detention center since May and has maintained a full course load and plans to graduate next year. I'm Jennifer King.
News and analysis at townhall.com. From Washington, I'm Keith Peters.
On Point weather on 107 The Point.
Here's tonight's forecast. Clear and chilly this evening with a low temperature dropping down to 29. Tomorrow looks glorious. Sunshine all day, a nice breeze, warmer temperatures, the high climbing to 58. More sunshine for Thursday, Friday, and by Saturday, we have sunshine to go with a high of 63. Next chance for a shower could come on Sunday. Only a 20% chance, though, we get rain that day. I'm Cal Moss with your On Point local weather.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
From the Bart Fireside Studio, the solution for keeping you warm this winter.
This is 107 The Point. This is The Point. Make thepointradio.com. The Point.
Welcome back to Sports Talk on the Sports Talk Media Network. You can reach the guys with the South Carolina Education Lottery lucky number. 888-898-2525. That's 888-898-2525. Now back to Phil and Chris with the second hour of Sports Talk on the Sports Talk Media Network.
We are back. It is Sports Talk Media Network on a fast-paced, fast-moving, sort of like an air raid style offense Tuesday night. Good to have you with us. Phil Kornblut, Chris Bergen, the plumber. Josh Cohen back at our studios in Columbia. Clemson up on BYU 19-17. 7:49 to play in the first half at Madison Square Garden. We got Dabo Sweeney and Terry Smith coming up as they talk about the bowl matchup in the Pinstripe Bowl as they met with the media today via a Zoom. And Coach Todd Knight from Newberry will join us 7:35 to talk about the matchup with Ferris up in Michigan in the semifinals of the D2 playoffs. How about that for Newberry. So we got all that coming up. But right now we want to take a deep dive into the world of big-time college football and what went on over the weekend.
Get ready for a deep dive into the X's and O's. This is Chalk Talk with coaches Chuck Reedy and Ellis Johnson on the Sports Talk Media Network.
Well, it's not just Chuck Reedy. It's Hall of Famer Chuck Reedy, who this weekend here in Myrtle Beach will be inducted into the South Carolina Football Coaches Association Hall of Fame. Congratulations, sir.
Indeed.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
I think we mentioned that back when it actually happened, but the induction is Saturday morning. I won't be able to make it. I'll still be sleeping. But maybe I'll see you at the ball game. So,
go ahead.
Congratulations well in advance.
Thank you very much.
And then we welcome in, of course, our Golden Bachelor, who's also in a Hall of Fame somewhere. That would be Coach Ellis Johnson. Welcome in, Coach.
Welcome in. Congratulations to Chuck. That's a great honor. And I've never seen the Golden Bachelor, but you asking me or trying to talk to me about that tells me your taste in television shows.
No, I don't watch it. It's
Jesus,
just owned.
Is that what you do when you're not on the radio? Watch the Golden Bachelor?
See, you have the choice of choosing whatever you want to watch on your television. I don't have the same luxury, if you know what I mean. Okay, I don't have the same luxury.
I understand. I've been there, done that.
I'm lucky I can get away to watch my Packers by myself. So you know, I'm not gonna try to and win a fight I know I'm gonna lose. Okay, great to have you two with us. And wow, what a weekend, gentlemen! What a weekend. Let me just get your general thoughts, Chuck. General thoughts from the weekend.
Well, obviously the championship games, somewhat surprising with Duke winning that one. I thought Georgia really is playing well. They're very, very impressive. I think they're gonna they'll be right there in this playoff thing. And Indiana, I keep saying that they hadn't played anybody, but you know what? You got to give them credit. That guy's done a heck of a job, and they're a heck of a football team. So, anyway, it was interesting. And then the whole thing with the playoff with Notre Dame, I thought it worked out just like it should. When it came right down to it, Miami, Notre Dame, you got to go head to head, and so Notre Dame got left out, and that's the way it should have been.
All right, so Ellis, along those same lines, and I agree with Chuck there, but do you think Notre Dame should have been in over Alabama?
That's a great question. I've been on this is my third one this week, and everybody's just I don't know what to think now other than that whole setup is a farce. It's a mess. They've got to clean it out. The playoff thing, the committee. I don't know how you leave any one of those three teams out, and then you have teams coming into the playoffs because they had to have votes from those conferences to even have a playoff. I don't even like the playoff field. I like the old bowl games. So I'm just a curmudgeon. And I'm probably the worst person to ask about this. My problem with Notre Dame getting bounced is when they got bounced. Okay, they've done nothing but win ball games for the last 10 weeks, I guess. And then all of a sudden you drop them 2 spots or 1 spot, and it costs them to get in playoffs. They need to quit having those pre-shows. They're nothing but entertainment gigs. Those Tuesday night things when they start doing it, 4 or 5 weeks ago, cut it out. Because all this stuff is manipulative. I'm convinced. And I think they were going to protect Alabama at all costs. And they were trying to protect the other two. But when Duke beats Virginia and the ACC lays an egg, and it just threw it into a mess. And so I guess they had to come up with something. But I thought the whole thing was a mess. And I don't blame any team for getting in. I think the whole thing is a farce.
Chuck, it's an attack on common sense, okay? You got this committee. All right. So championship games, do they mean anything? Do they not mean anything? So Indiana beats Ohio State. What do? They move Indiana up. They drop Ohio State down. Probably not far enough. I think Georgia should have moved up maybe to number
I totally
one.
agree with that.
Yeah, I think Georgia should really be number one. But, whatever. They move that you were moved because of the championship game. Alabama loses and loses handily and doesn't move. It makes no sense.
That's it.
Make it make sense.
Exactly it.
No,
don't forget to drop BYU also for losing to the same team the second time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they got penalized. But Alabama's the only one that didn't get penalized for losing the championship game, and they got wow.
And why is that, Chuck? why is Alabama not penalized?
Well,
where's the chairman of the committee from?
Hunter Yurchek from Arkansas. He's from
SEC.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, and I agree with Ellis, but the biggest farce of the whole thing is that you've got James Madison, who's going to go to Oregon and get beat by 40 or 50 points, and you've got Tulane, who's going to go to Ole Miss. They've already played once and lost by 35 points. Those are the two that shouldn't be there. Notre Dame should be in, and either Vanderbilt or BYU, somebody else. If you want to have the best 12 teams, you ought to have the best 12 teams. And putting in these group of 5 teams, dilutes the whole thing. And,
well, now wait a minute. Let me interject here, Coach, because Tulane and James Madison didn't do anything wrong. The way the rules are set up, it's the 5 highest-ranked conference champions. They were 2 of the 5. So if you have a problem with them, you've got a problem with the committee, not the rules, not those 2 schools.
I have a problem with the rules. And if you remember, last year we had problems, and they changed a lot of it. But, this is ridiculous to have James Madison and Tulane. So they need to change that. If you're going to have a playoff, get the 12 best teams in there. And they're not doing that. So the 12 best
from the SEC, Big 10, Big 12 is what you're saying.
Well, the big schools, the group, I agree with Coach here. I think that the group of 5 or group of 6, whatever they call them now, they should have their own level of playoffs so those teams can have a chance to go win a trophy.
Yep.
Okay?
Exactly.
These 2 teams are going to get slaughtered. You know it, Bergie. Everybody
Tennessee
knows
got
it.
blown out last year. Nobody said a word about that.
Well, because you're going to have mismatches along the way, but at least that was –
so the G5 is supposed to be penalized.
Those are 2 teams.
Power 5 not.
Those are 2 teams with the same ammo. Okay, and one team was better. You have blowouts throughout the SEC when they meet in the ACC.
Right.
But at least they're playing with the same guns. You're not playing with the same ammo here. And every so often one will rise up and beat one of the Power 4 schools. You're going to have that, but it's few and far between now. And they want to. Ellis, they're trying to make this like the NCAA basketball tournament and have a Cinderella, but this isn't basketball. It doesn't work the same way.
What they need to do is get rid of all those people and bring some basketball coaches in to handle the whole bracket. I talked to some basketball coaches. There was one on podcast with us Monday morning, and the basketball coach who was on the podcast was the most logical about how everything should be done. Why? Because they've been living with that thing for about 50 years. And now football coaches are trying to do it. And we know why they had to do the group of 5, because the thing would have never got approved before a vote, or the NCAA body or whoever the hell voted it in. So they had to throw them a bone, and they didn't think it was ever going to come back to bite them. And obviously it has now. But I tell you, man, the ACC, they got more teams in bowls now than any other school. Any other conference. But what they did, they wrecked the whole thing. Wait till the TV ratings come in on 2 of those first 4 games, and they're going to be absolutely pitiful. And you got a 5-way tie, and you send a team that lost 4 or 5 games or something. I don't know how many they lost. And Miami's nationally ranked, and they don't send them as their conference representative. So then that starts the domino effect. It's just a total mess.
So, and also you're going to have a problem here, too, because the Saturday of the playoffs, you got NFL games that day as well. So we're going to really see, a test of what the TV market will tell you about the playoffs when you've got the NFL going up against a James Madison and Oregon. I think one of these playoff games will kick off at 11 o'clock local time, which is
it's the A&M game, isn't it?
Is it the A&M game is kicking off early? Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Out there. I mean, that's ridiculous. Yeah, it is. It's 12 o'clock Eastern, 11 o'clock out there. So, I mean, you gotta fill those time slots. That's what it's all about, guys. It's about television. It's about ESPN schedule and trying to fill those times. Well, absolutely. Chalk Talk here with Chuck Reedy and Ellis Johnson. Let's talk a minute. Let's switch gears, guys. Let's touch on South Carolina State and Newberry. South Carolina State going to the bowl game in Atlanta this weekend to play Prairie View A&M. Didn't see that one coming. A chance to win the HBCU National Championship. Coach Berry there has not lost a MEAC game since he took over there for Buddy Pugh in his second year. And then Todd Knight in Newberry in the semifinals of the D2 going up to Michigan to play Ferris State. Chuck, you know, have you paid much attention to these two programs through the season?
No, I really haven't. But obviously, Coach Barrett, they've done a great job at South Carolina State. I mean, he's taken over from Buddy and done well. And Todd Knight, congratulations to him. He's been at Newberry a long time. Great guy and has done a great job. And I'm just excited to see them where they are and and pulling for them.
How about you, Ellis? You've been following these teams at all?
Just kind of keeping one eye on each. I have not followed South Carolina State quite as closely. I've been following Newberry as best I can. They don't do a good job putting out their SI stuff. I've watched them through the bracket, and y'all may or may not know, in addition to Deke Herron, Les Herron, one of our longtime friends, coach, worked with Chuck up at Clemson. Deke's his son. He's coaching receivers. And Reed Sharp is a quarterback. Of course, that's not Reed that we all know, who's about 85 years old and still looks like he's 50.
Yeah.
That's Reed's grandson. That's Rusty's son. And the dude must be a player now because they're putting points up on people and they're throwing the football. But the only thing now, they're down to the semis, and every other team that's still alive is undefeated. Ferris is 14-0. Harding's 14-0. Town or Cutts or something, 13-0. Newberry's lost one game back early in the season. They were picked, I think, 7th in the conference, guys. It's just a great story. I hope to heck they can pull this thing off.
Well, they've had a fabulous season. They've had many come from behind wins. They've won many close games. Okay, Chuck, it looks like it'll be Kendall Briles, the new OC at South Carolina. You were at Baylor. You were in Texas. The Briles name down there, football-wise, is pretty strong, and I guess he's proven himself at Arkansas and at TCU that he knows this offense. He can coach this offense. What do you think of this hire?
Well, I think it's a home run hire for Coach Beamer.
Break up.
His dad is a great football coach, and Kendall, obviously he's learned from him and runs the same offensive scheme, what have you. But I had to think about 3 years ago. We were sitting in Comeback Shack when Clemson hired Garrett Riley, and we said, "Man, this is a home run hire." I don't know how that's worked out, but anyway, hopefully this will work out better for South Carolina than it did for Clemson.
I'm glad you mentioned that because that brings to mind, think about this. Because Dabo Swinney hired Garrett Riley, Jeremiah Donati, who was the AD at TCU at the time, along with the head coach, they went out and hired Kendall Briles from Arkansas. They outbid. It was a pretty heavy bidding contest for him. So because of that hire by Clemson, Briles goes to TCU. Of course, he gets to know Donati. Now Donati comes to South Carolina, and, Donati's got a lot to do with Briles coming to South Carolina, Ellis. So you just never know what's going to lead to getting somebody someplace.
Donati might have hired both of them, him and the offensive line coach. Well, you got Sean Elliott there, and you still need a line coach? So, I don't know. I think they're good hires. I think all these head coaches have just been hired as good hires. But really, it doesn't really, I'm not saying it doesn't matter. It's not unimportant, but they can hire anybody they want to. The schools that are putting the money up front to buy the players, they're going to have the best seasons. And I hate to make it sound that way because I hate where college football is now, but bottom line, put the resources in the recruiting and NIL and buying players, and you'll win.
Mm-hmm. That's what it boils down to. Before we let you go, Chuck, what do you think the retirement of Jim Clements at Clemson might mean from an athletic standpoint, from a football standpoint?
Well, I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. But, you know, you just haven't – well, they just better get a guy that's – and they will. I mean, Clemson – football is too important at Clemson. They'll hire some guy that's an athletic-minded guy. You can be assured of that.
What do you think, Ellis?
Yeah, they've got a board now that has about three heavy hitters that play ball there. They always keep an eye on that part of it. Clements didn't have a great athletic background, but they knew from where he'd been, he was in full support of the program. I hate to say it, guys, I live probably about 4 miles from him. I didn't know he was getting ready to retire or resign. I hadn't heard that. But they'll make a good hire. And they have the place is in line right now. I don't know what happened with football coaching, but they're in line right now administratively.
Hey, you have any thoughts, Ellis, about joining the Clemson Board of Trustees? Would you like somebody to nominate you?
You have to be a graduate, Phil. Last time I checked, they're not taking citadel applications. And I'll leave you on one little factoid. I heard it on Monday morning on this damn podcast, and I was like, wow. Okay, this dude is an analytics. His company's called Matrix. The last 26 years, the national championship football team was ranked in the top 3 in the nation in either offense or defense or both. So who still got that? Well, Vandy and Notre Dame had it, but they're not in it. Ohio State, Indiana, and Texas Tech are the only other teams that can say that right now.
So keep an eye on them.
That's an unbelievable stat now. That is an unbelievable stat.
Yep. Gentlemen, we thank you as always. Chuck,
Thanks,
we'll see you down here, and let's do it again next week, guys, as we preview the weekend of the first round of the playoffs coming up. We'll dial you up next week.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Coach Johnson. Goodbye to the Golden Bachelor. He's gone. Thank you, coaches. Appreciate that. Yeah, it really is. All right, to the break we go, and we'll be back with more. And we got recruiting coming up, a little recruiting information. And then we got Todd Knight coming up. And we're going to bring you a little Dabo Sweeney and Terry Smith as well. So we got a
Clemson
full
score too.
Boat ahead. Oh, the Clemson score. It is the Tigers. Ooh, 43-22 Clemson.
Football season is upon us, and that means Columbia is welcoming fans from around the corner and across the country. No matter where you're from, Gamecocks love coming together for game day energy that can only be found in South Carolina's capital city. Book hotel rooms, find pre- and post-game activities, and plan your tailgate spread with local favorites from pimento cheese to barbecue at experiencecolumbiasc.com. We'll see you soon, and go Gamecocks!
Hi, I'm attorney Jim Corbett. For over 35 years, I've been handling claims and cases for individuals and small businesses. I've now been a mediator for more than 10 years. Let me put that experience to work for you. Like if you're injured in a wreck or on the job or at someone else's place, anytime you should get reimbursed or compensated. Jim Corbett, 803-765-2968 or jim@jimcorbettattorney.com. Corbett with an E, and the initial consultation is free. Jim Corbett to settle your claims, avoid a lawsuit, or go to trial.
There's a lot of things we take for granted in our lives. Your home's AC will run cool. Your drive-through coffee will be hot. And the car will start when it's time to take your kids to school. It's when things don't go as planned that you start thinking about who to call and where to turn. The good thing is, you can prepare for life's most difficult days by calling the Larry Lucas Agency today. Larry is a State Farm agent that has been taking care of people across South Carolina for more than 2 decades. You probably have insurance, but switching is easy, and bundling can save you hundreds or more. Most importantly, the Larry Lucas Agency can help you choose the protection you want at the price you want. All backed by South Carolina's #1 home and auto insurance company. Visit LarryLucasAgency.com today or give Larry a call at 803-799-1998. Like a good neighbor, Larry Lucas State Farm is there.
Many of South Carolina's top high school seniors meet in one unforgettable showdown in Myrtle Beach. It's the 78th Annual Touchstone Energy Cooperatives Bowl. Hi, I'm Phil Kornbluth. Join me Saturday, December 13th at noon, live on your Sports Talk Media Network affiliate and streaming on all of our social media channels. Don't miss the pride, the passion, and the tradition of the Touchstone Energy Bowl, powered by your local Touchstone Energy Cooperatives. Get your tickets now at TouchstoneEnergyBowl.com.
The Sports Talk Recruiting Report is sponsored by Seawell's Catering.
Okay, recruiting here on Sports Talk. On this Talking Tuesday, it is brought to you by Seawell's. All right, Plummer, real quick, Plummer. What do we have on the menu for Seawell's tomorrow, Wednesday, a wacky Wednesday? What do we have?
Tomorrow, Wednesday, chicken tenders, beef tips, and mushroom gravy, fried flounder, sausages with peppers and onions.
Oh, my gosh.
Closed the rest of the week.
Really? Oh, my gosh. That's another OMG. What a menu tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to get to Seawell's. You won't have them at your fingertips the rest of the week. So get to Seawell's right there at 1125 Rosewood Drive across from the fairgrounds. And call them for your catering needs, 803-771-7385, online, SeawellsCateringSC.com. Update on one of the top prospects in South Carolina for next year, Jaden Worth, defensive tackle, Dutch Fork, won a state championship the other night, has seen his recruiting really grow since he moved to Dutch Fork from Augusta, South Carolina, Georgia Tech, Miami, Vanderbilt, Penn State, NC State, Duke, Appalachian State. Offers for him at this point, and he tells us after watching Julian Walker flip over to South Carolina, his teammate, well, he says, quote, I feel like right now Carolina is standing out a little more now since Julian decided to go there. I'd love to be able to play with him again. You know, they're close to home. They are recruiting me pretty hard. I know they want me to go there. I love how they play there. I could also play with Julian again. That would be a great experience if I choose to go there. End of quote. So he's still taking it slow. Clemson's still very much in the hunt as well. And he's been talking to Tom Allen, he says, which kind of surprised me. Not so much Nick Eason, but more with Tom Allen, the overall defensive coordinator. And their whole defensive staff, he said, hit him up just before the championship game, wishing him good luck and talking to him. And they're going to come see him in January, but he said he's been talking to Coach Allen a lot. It's been good conversations, and he says the way Clemson develops defensive linemen, you have to be impressed with that. Junior days are coming up, then official visits, then a decision. And we'll be back.
On Point weather on 107 The Point.
Here's tonight's forecast. Clear and chilly this evening with a low temperature dropping down to 29. Tomorrow looks glorious. Sunshine all day, a nice breeze, warmer temperatures the high, climbing to 58. More sunshine for Thursday, Friday, and by Saturday, we have sunshine to go with a high of 63. Next chance for a shower could come on Sunday. Only a 20% chance, though, we get rain that day. I'm Cal Moss with your On Point local weather.
What's better than getting the best Wagyu and Hereford beef anywhere in these parts and getting it delivered to your door? How about knowing you're still supporting local farmers in Saluda over at H&J Cattle, where tradition meets quality? Visit HandJCattle.com. Place your order for $50 or more, get free delivery in Richland or Lexington County. Plus, Point listeners get 10% off your order. Enter keyword The Point as one word for your discount. HandJCattle.com.
The Point. The Point.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Opponents of Missouri's new congressional map have submitted thousands of petition signatures calling for a statewide vote on the plan backed by President Trump. Organizers of the petition drive said they turned in more than 300,000 signatures Tuesday to the Secretary of State's office. That's well more than the roughly 110,000 signatures needed to suspend the U.S. House districts from taking effect until a public vote can be held next year. But the signatures still must be formally verified by election authorities. The first of a series of powerful storms is dumping heavy rain and swelling rivers in the Pacific Northwest, closing roads and prompting high water rescues. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 179 points. More details at srnnews.com.
Lots of plumbing companies out there. Few are truly local. Time to discover the difference with Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning. See, when I faced plumbing woes at the Cohen home, Josh and his dedicated team, well, they were my go-to solution. They make a commitment to exceptional service. They arrived on time, clearly detailed all the costs and procedures, and efficiently handled all my repairs without any surprises. These days, how often do we complain about a lack of customer service out there? With Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning, these folks are professional. They're courteous. They're skilled at what they do, and they've earned my trust, and they've earned my recommendation to you. From urgent repairs to the tankless water heater you've always wanted, they've got you covered. Visit franklinplumbing.sc.com or call 799-2222. That's 799-2222. Hey, you tell them Kev sent you from The Point. I'm pretty sure you'll want to thank me later.
Experience South Carolina's printing powerhouse. Professional Printers is your trusted partner, bringing over 30 years of expertise in print and graphics. From digital printing to web and sheet-fed solutions, we handle it all with a team of over 100 dedicated professionals. Locally owned and operated, we have 2 locations in the Midlands and serve our customers with pride, ensuring top-notch service and quality in every project. We do it all, including storage and promotional products. Visit proprinters.com and elevate your printing experience with us.
When you think of family, you think of hugs and lots of love. That's what your loved one will find when they move to Oakley Village for assisted living or memory care. You can rest assured your family members will participate in engaging activities, have exceptional care, and all their needs met. You gain peace of mind that comes from family taking care of family. Call Oakley Village today at 803-969-8168 and see how you too can join a community that feels like family. Or you can reach us online at oakleyvillagelexington.com.
Hey y'all, this is Ted from Flight Deck. Join us at Hanger Provisions Holiday Market at the Shops at Flight Deck Saturday, December 13th from 10 to 3. Enjoy a day of holiday shopping with gifts, baked goods, home decor, children's toys, and a bouncy ride for the kids. Take pictures with Santa. Support our Giving Tree to help someone in need and earn a chance to win a holiday raffle. Proceeds benefit the Lexington County Foster Association, Reconciliation Ministries, and Lexington Aging Commission. Come and enjoy Hanger Provisions Holiday Market at the Shops at Flight Deck on Saturday, December 13th from 10 to 3. Thanks y'all and Merry Christmas.
Want to hear my success story? I'm Fran Halloran, the money coach. I'm celebrating a decade of partnering with The Point. It's one of the best decisions I ever made. I've used The Point to significantly grow my small business. It started with a meeting with Kevin Cohen. Do you own a small business? Are you on a limited budget? No problem. Reach out to Kev at 563-8558. Get a customized plan and start your journey to business growth with The Point today. Success is one call away. Take the leap.
Okay, welcome back. It is time to talk about Newberry. The Newberry College Wolves going to the semifinals of the D2 playoffs. They don't have these problems in D2 that they have everywhere else. They just get their teams, get their champions, line them up, let them play, and everybody's happy. Nobody can be happier than Coach Todd Knight at Newberry College. We welcome him to Sports Talk. And, man, tip of the hat. Congratulations, but you ain't finished yet, huh?
Hey, you're right, my friend. It's been a long time since I coached ball in December, and I'm enjoying it.
You got to update your wardrobe, Coach. I saw you're out in shorts today.
Yeah, I think I might need to pack a little heavier for this trip.
Do you have to address the cold with your players? I mean, like, how cold is it going to be? You have any idea just yet?
Yeah, I think they're calling for about 15 degrees, and one of the coaches came up to me tonight at practice. It was a little chilly, and I made the comment. I said, "This is a little cold snap for us to get us ready for Saturday." Mm-hmm. And he said, "Coach, it's going to be 30 degrees colder than what we're experiencing right here." And that's hard to fathom for me. 30 degrees colder than what we're standing out in there tonight. But yeah, we did. We addressed it on Monday. Saying, look, right off the bat, everybody congratulating you and that kind of thing, trying to turn off a little noise. But the second thing everybody brings up is, well, how you going to deal with the snow? How you going to deal with the weather? Look, it's just like when people come down here to play us in September when it's 1,000,000 degrees. They have to block. You have to block it out. You have to just play the game. You got to block it out. And I've been saying it all week. We got to be in it. We might as well win it.
Good line. I like that line.
We're doing the best we can. Sideline jackets for the kids. Everybody's got a coat. Thermals, hand warmers. You name it. We've pulled out all the stops to try to take care of the kids and
heaters?
Get them to try to block it out, and let's focus on the game. Yeah, if they have heaters, then they have to provide heaters for us, so they're going to be on both sidelines, so that's taken care of early.
Awesome. How do you explain this team, your team? How do you explain it?
It's hard. I think it's just they just believe in each other. I keep preaching that over and over since the very beginning. I've never been around a group of young men that believe in each other the way these guys do. We've been down 21 points at least 4 times this season and come out the locker room in the second half and get it done. We did the same thing at Albany State this week. This past Saturday, I think we were down 21, came out, defense held them to a field goal the second half. Offense caught on fire, and we pulled another one out. It's who they are. I don't think there's any quit in them. They don't ever give up. They don't ever think they're out of it. And that's a great mentality to have. And, it speaks volumes to their resolve. They don't ever think that they can't come back and win it.
Mm-hmm. What about this team up at Ferris, up in Michigan? They are the defending national champs, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not. I told the kids too. I said, look, this isn't somewhere that we haven't been before. We've done this before. We beat Valdosta at Valdosta. They were defending national champions. We beat West Florida at West Florida. They were defending national champions. So this isn't something that we haven't ever done before. It's another ball game. Let's go 1-0 this week. Yeah, they're a good team. Yeah, they're 14-0. They're ranked number 1 in the country. They deserve it. They're an excellent football team. But it's another game. It's another opportunity. Let's go have some fun in the snow, and let's get after them.
What makes them dangerous? What concerns you the most about them?
A pair of brothers up front on the offensive line, 6'6", 300 apiece. Really good ball players, really good. It's interesting, too. Both of them are in the portal. And they're lining up for Ferris State, and they're in the portal. That amazes me. But they're excellent players. The quarterback is a really good athlete that you have to take him into account in the run game. That's what makes them click. If he's got it going in the run game, everything is clicking for them. Explosive, wide open on offense, defensively, up front is where it's all at with them. Great pass rusher off the edge and 300-pounders at D tackle. It's not your typical D2 team. Probably going to be one of the best-looking teams we've ever seen, and arguably, they're defending national champs, ranked number 1. hey, look, they're the best team in the country in our league.
Todd Knight, head football coach at Newberry College, with us here tonight. And, Coach, you mentioned they've got some guys that are going to enter the transfer portal but are still going to play. How would you handle that if you had that scenario with your players? If you had some guys that were getting into the portal, would you let them play?
That's a sticky situation. I would call the kids in, and we'd have a heart-to-heart about it, and I'd say, listen, you gotta give everything you got to this program first. I would ask that you finish the season with us before you enter the portal. Now, when the season's over with, all bets are off. You fulfilled your obligation to this program and to your brothers in the locker room. Now you have the option, and you can do what you want to do at that point. That's what I would ask of the young man.
Phil mentioned the weather you guys are going to face up at Ferris State. I remember when Coastal Carolina played at Montana several years ago in the FCS playoffs. Joe Mowgli actually had chicken soup on the sideline. It might be something to consider for the guys to keep them warm.
Okay, that's a good one. I hadn't thought about that. With all the logistical nightmare for us, I mean, we don't take this type of trip every week. Chartering a flight, coming down to Columbia, get on an airplane, places to eat, stay. Trying to keep the kids warm. This is a wild one. It really is. But the chicken soup thing, that got past me right there.
That actually seemed to work for Coastal. And it's funny you bring that up because that's what I was going to ask you. Is the logistical part of this a whole lot more difficult to handle than the weather is going to be? Because you're right, D2, it's not like you fly all this often. I would imagine this is probably the first time many of your players have ever gotten on an airplane.
Probably most of them. It's the first time they've ever got on a plane. Now we've flown before here at Newberry, but it's been a long time, way back. And again, it's something that doesn't happen around here very often. But man, it is so exciting, and it's great to be here. Never been here before. Never been in the Final Four. I've never been in the Elite Eight. So this is a cold time, and I'm excited for these kids. They've absolutely earned it, and they deserve to be there.
How do you think they will try to defense Reed Sharpia?
I think defensive line-wise, they'll change their rush lanes a little bit on him, because Reed doubles back quite a bit. We've got some things, obviously scheme and that type of thing and play call, but when things start to break down, that's when Reed kind of takes over, and it's Reed and two or three of our receivers, and they turn into kids in the backyard, running around behind the bushes and throwing it and that kind of thing, and it drives you crazy, but the kid finds a way to make it work. And I think just changing the rush lane with the D tackles, the D ends, just to try to keep him contained more, I think would be the first thing that they would attack when they look at us.
Well, you have been at Newberry a long, long time, and you've got staffers who've been there with you, maybe even longer as well. And so I don't want to put the cart before the horse, obviously, but to be this close, to be where you are, I mean, this just got to be a dream come true for all of you who've been at Newberry this long.
Yeah, it is. And, a lot of the staff's been here with me a long time, and about half the staff played for me. So that's kind of cool every day going out to practice and looking at this grown man now that's calling plays for me on offense. It wasn't not long ago that he was out there catching the ball and winning games for us and winning the championship and that kind of thing. But that's a neat thing for me, over a period of time being in one place so long that you get to have that experience.
Well, you've got the entire state of South Carolina behind you, the entire state of South Carolina behind South Carolina State as well on Saturday. You guys you'll be playing the state kick at 12? You kick at 12.
They do. We
Eastern
kick at 12
time.
up there, yes.
12, are you still in the Eastern time zone up there?
Yes.
Okay.
There's two D2 games. We're at 12, and the other one's at 3:30.
All right, so we'll have simultaneous Newberry and South Carolina State. Wish them both the best. And we thank you for joining us.
Thanks,
have
Coach.
A great trip, and bring it back to the state and then go one more.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you for having us on. And, hey, if you want to do a little something for me, maybe a flask or a thermal full of chicken soup, you might send it up
Chicken
to the
soup,
motel.
I'm telling you, Coach, that'll work.
Yeah. I appreciate
All right,
it, guys.
sir. Thank you. Safe travels. Todd Knight from Newberry. You mentioned Joe Moglia as we go to the break. As I recall, too, Bergie, like he spent like thousands of dollars of his own money, which he could afford.
Sure.
To outfit the entire team with warm weather gear, right? Like gloves and.
They did have a bunch of gear, and it's funny. There's a picture of that game in the Norman Fieldhouse at CCU. It was one of the coldest games in Montana history, and you can just look at the picture, Phil, and it feels cold to the touch, to give you an idea of how cold it was.
I don't envy those guys standing out there in that kind of weather. Okay, we're going to hear from Clemson, Penn State coaches after the break.
This is Major Billy Downer with the Department of Natural Resources, and I've got a message for all of our hunters out there. When you go afield, always make sure to positively identify your target. Know the identifying features of the game you're hunting, and know what's beyond your target in case you miss. If you want more information on hunter education, visit dnr.sc.gov or join us on Wednesday nights for SC Wild.
You can listen to SC Wild on the Sports Talk Media Network or at dnr.sc.gov/podcasts.
You were always more than my mom. You were my role model, my best friend, and biggest supporter. You filled my days with unconditional love, and you also prepared for the day when you couldn't be here. Because of the woman you were back then, I'm able to be the woman I am now. Your planning made this moment possible.
Set your family up for life. Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance. Your friends for life.
Life insurance isn't for you. It's for those you love the most. For a complete insurance review, call Buddy Bridges in Lawrence County at 864-923-2174, serving Lawrence, Clinton, and the shores of Lake Greenwood.
Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi. Not licensed to do business in all 50 states.
South Carolina's taste buds have spoken, and they're asking for beef. There are more than 7,800 farms raising cattle from pasture to plate in the Palmetto State. So whether it's steaks on the grill before the big game, sirloin medallions plated for date night, or burgers with a family, make sure beef is a part of your playbook this football season. Smoked, grilled, and slow roasted. Find the best way to enjoy your beef at sccattle.org. Beef. It's what's for dinner in South Carolina. Funded by the South Carolina Beef Council, part of the Beef Checkoff program.
You've put in the work for your education. The extra early, extra late, extra work. That's because you understand education opens doors to better pay, better opportunities, and a better you. Being educated about playing the lottery is no different. It helps you be a better player, one who knows when to play and when to take a rain check. The lottery's a game, so let's keep it fun. Learn more at sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.
A couple of quick words here. Getting some information that the Oceanside thing with these two players not showing up, direct result of those two players being kicked off the Shrine Bowl. And that the school said you're not going. Direct result of that particular situation where they were suspended from the Shrine Bowl for their participation in the brawl with Belton Oniapath, which is deserved.
Absolutely.
Why would you tell these players that you can't go to this All-Star game? Why would you do that?
Yeah, that's a little odd.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Okay. Also, Lonnie Teasley, former South Carolina offensive line coach, reportedly out there in Nebraska by a Nebraska reporter, may be in line for a spot on the offensive staff there at Nebraska. So he could be heading out to Nebraska to continue his coaching career. All right, today up in they weren't in New York. They were at separate locations. Dabo Sweeney of Clemson and Terry Smith of Penn State, the two head coaches in the Bad Boy Moore's Pinstripe Bowl, December 27th, 12 o'clock, Yankee Stadium. Bernie Williams is not going to be in the outfield. Derek Jeter is not going to be at shortstop. Roger Clemens is not going to be on the mound. So anyway, here they are. This is the Q&A portion of about an hour-long Zoom session that also included the ADs. The ADs are involved in this as well. Graham Neff from Clemson and Dr. Pat, what's his last name? Kraft. Dr. Pat Kraft from Penn State. So they're all involved here, but it's mostly the coaches. So here we go to the questions.
We will go to Joel Smeltzer from Nittany Sports.
Hey guys, thanks everybody for doing this. First question is for Terry. So Zane Durant became the first player to opt out last night. What would you say about Zane Durant's impact on this program? And do you have a gauge right now on how much of your first string is going to be available for the Pinstripe Bowl? Thank you.
Yeah, Zane opted out. Zane has meant a lot to what we've done defensively here at Penn State. You know, he anchored our defensive line. He's played tremendous football for us. We've gotten great value from Zane. You know, he chose to move on at this point. We're super happy and we're super proud of him. At this point, he's the only one that has opted out. We're just looking forward to putting our best team forward and trying to get ready for this Clemson team that creates all kind of challenges for us.
Thank you, Coach. We'll take the next one from Nathan Macaborski from Yankees Magazine.
Hi, gentlemen. Thanks for doing this today. This question is for both coaches. Your players, a lot of them might have started this season, you know, with dreams of playing in, you know, playoff type bowl games, but this one still, you know, like you mentioned, it still has meaning to it. What's kind of your message going to be to your players heading into this game, just as far as the opportunity that's still in front of them here?
I mean, this Coach Sweeney, I'll speak up. I mean, it's a great opportunity. I think anytime you get a chance to represent Clemson, represent Penn State, you know, it's a special opportunity, and to be able to do it on a stage like the Pinstripe Bowl presents for everyone, it's a unique experience. So super thankful that we get to play again. There's a lot of people not getting to play, so thankful that we've earned the opportunity, especially from where, you know, we started our season. Certainly did not have the start that we wanted, but, you know, these guys have finished well, and they've earned the opportunity to be here, and just excited to be able to play one more time.
Yeah, I would echo those sentiments from Coach Sweeney. We have the opportunity to play at a historic venue, Yankee Stadium. Like I said, I played there, or we coached there, you know, prior once before, and it's a great venue. It's a great opportunity for our guys. Obviously, our year hadn't gone the way we thought it would go from the beginning. We went through the coaching change. I took over mid-season, and, you know, right now we're on a 3-game winning streak, just trying to, you know, piece together, trying to figure out how to win a 4th game in a row. So it's a great opportunity between two great historic programs, Clemson University and Penn State University, a lot of history between the two. For our guys, we're super excited, and it's just a tremendous opportunity to try to end this season on a high note.
Coaches, thank you. We'll take the next one from Noah Chast from ABC Columbia.
Hey everyone, thank you for the time. This one is for both Coach Dabo Sweeney and Terry Smith. We can start with Coach Sweeney. Both these teams ending the season on winning streaks and with a lot of change coming, be it the coaching staff or the senior class leaving. How important is it for both of you guys to win this game coming up late in December?
Well, I mean, I think, again, anytime you take the field, you know, the goal is to win the game. So that's why we practice and prepare. And this is a tough challenge. I mean, again, we've had a great finish, you know, winning our state championship, winning 4 in a row. You know, everybody wants to take momentum. You know, one of our goals is to win the closer. So this is the closer. And it just so happens we're playing in Yankee Stadium to do it. And so I think anytime you can finish your season with a win, it's a great thing. And the same for Penn State. So, huge game, huge opportunity, and I know our team will be excited about it.
Yeah, as ultimate competitors, the goal is always to win. And we all know, based on going into the off season, the momentum of a victory into your off season helps your off season workouts, your spring ball, and how you approach next season. So we're looking forward to trying to gain that momentum and continue the momentum of 3-game winning streak. And like I said before, it's a tremendous opportunity for our guys, and they're looking forward to, just enjoying our process of trying to get better and win one more game.
Thank you, coaches. We'll take the next one from Greg Pickell from Blue White Illustrated.
Thanks for your time. This is for Coach Smith. Coach Smith, why have you decided to stay at Penn State and be a part of Matt Campbell's first staff?
Yeah, my love for the university, I've expressed that, time after time. I love the university. I've known Matt Campbell probably 15 plus years when I was a high school head coach at Gateway High School. Matt was at that time the head coach at Toledo, University of Toledo. He recruited my high school. We went up there, had done some 7-on-7 camps there, and just had a relationship with him. I've known him. I know what he's about. At this point in my career, I truly can only work for certain types of individuals, and we're aligned at the point of he's blue collar. He creates toughness, discipline, and just the core values of what Penn State represents. And I felt like he was the right leadership at the time, and I wanted to stay a part of it. And it's worked out for my family, and obviously I'm excited that Matt is welcoming me to his staff.
Thank you. We'll take the next one from Rick Henry from WIS TV.
Thank you very much. This one is for Coach Sweeney. Dabo, I heard you say that this will probably be the first trip to New York for some of your guys, and I was wondering, when did you make your first trip to New York, and what was your initial reaction to seeing the skyscrapers, the traffic for the first time? And this year, what off-field activity are you looking forward to the most?
Man, my first trip to New York City would have probably been, I think I went up with my father-in-law for a Yankees game, probably when I was about 30. So I mean, it was a long time. And I was overwhelmed. I'd never seen anything like it. I was completely overwhelmed. And it's an amazing experience. And as far as, what I'm looking forward to as a part of this bowl game is I'm really looking forward to going to the 9/11 Memorial at the Stock Exchange. That'll be a pretty cool experience. And so I've been several times. I've been to a few games at Yankee Stadium now, and I actually have in my office, I have first base from Yankee Stadium from back in 2018. So I've been to a Knicks game. I've been to a Nets game. So I love all the sporting events. And then probably, some of my best memories from New York of going up when they used to have the draft at Radio City every year. I've been there several times for that. And then I'm actually at the College Football Hall of Fame event that's going to happen tonight. And this event used to be in New York every single year. So every December I would go up to New York for a couple of days. So a lot of good memories in the city, and we've actually recruited a few kids from up there.
That's going to do it. We've enjoyed it. Thank you, Bergie. Thank you, Plummer. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. See you tomorrow.